Hi, and welcome to this episode of Mootopia MMIV. Today I'll be doing my worst Dons 11, so let's get right into it. Cody Cropper, a player who, despite being only 22 when he arrived, looked as though he was due to retire. Bad positioning, bad communication, didn't like catching the ball and thought far too much of himself. Thankfully, Cody only troubled Don's goal area on 9 occasions before miraculously being signed by MLS side New England Revolution. Tom Flanagan. Tom went on to have a decent career, but it just never worked out for him at the Dons. A particular low point was when he gave away 2 penalties against Gillingham and was sent off inside 12 minutes. A central defender who didn't demand much respect from the fans or his colleagues, with his teammates nicknaming him Screech. Flanagan, he's probably forever going to be remembered for his mistakes rather than his defending ability. Mitch Hancocks. Mitch was signed by Paul Tisdale. In his only appearance for MK Dons, he showed himself to be completely out of his depth, even at League 2 level. Leaving Dons after only 1 season, he dropped down to non-league, where he still plays. His signing was a complete disaster for both the player and the club. Russell Martin. Russell Martin was actually quite a good player for us, but after becoming manager for 1 full season, he showed us what a terrible person he really was. After spending 2 to 3 weeks telling fans he was committed to the MK Dons project, he was allegedly whisked away in a limousine after managing his last game away to Bournemouth in the EFL Cup, leaving the club on sour notes and a 5-0 defeat. He is now affectionately known as Snakey. Lawson Diaz. Lawson was yet another shirt filler brought in by Paul Tisdale. Another player who was clearly just not up to the task, only playing 15 times and was most recently seen troubling the pitch at Yeovil, where he was part of a team that was recently relegated to National League South. Ryan Harley. Harley was unbelievably terrible for us on 2 occasions. He stunk up the pitch whilst on loan in 2013 and also came to the club from Exeter with Paul Tisdale and was by far one of the worst of the Exeter signings. A player who mysteriously got raved about by other clubs, but I can honestly say in 27 games he didn't have 1 good one at Stadium MK. Lewis Guy. Lewis Guy arrives as a Cole Robinson signing in 2010. He somehow featured for MK Dons 35 times over 2 years, but just never seemed to put in a decent performance. On occasion there were moments where you thought things were going to click, but alas, it was not meant to be, and certainly won't be in anyone's best 11. Ous Cisse. Ous was completely inconsistent. Could pass the ball, he could tackle, he could shoot, he could run, but unfortunately couldn't do all these things in the same game. He became a cult hero after scoring a goal at QPR. This goal has airbrushed all the many bad performances he's had in the past. Tom Hitchcock. Son of former Chelsea goalkeeper Kevin Hitchcock, a lot was expected of Tom when he arrived. I'm unsure if it was the weight of expectation or he was just not good enough to be a professional footballer. Tom Hitchcock is definitely one of Cole Robinson's worst signings. Despite a decent scoring record before signing, he played just 12 times over 2 seasons and didn't score for MK Dons. Scoring no goals is a bad look for a striker, although he did score 3 times in 23 games on a loan split between Fleetwood, Stevenage and Crewe. According to Wikipedia, Tom now plays for Real Bedford. Simon Church. When MK Dons signed Simon Church, we knew he hadn't signed a prolific striker, but nobody was expecting a Wales international to literally look allergic to scoring just twice in 19 games and only playing 8 times after leaving MK Dons, but also having purple patch on loan in Aberdeen, whilst at MK Dons when he scored 6 times in 13 games. Church was by no means the worst striker we've ever had. That title belongs to our next candidate, but he certainly gave the next guy a run for his money. Charlie MacDonald. The odds were always stacked up against him, as he was the direct replacement for Sam Baldock. But it's not often you see a player who you genuinely question if the right player has arrived after the signing. The closest comparison I can think of is when Andrei Shevchenko's brother Colin turned up at Chelsea. After scoring about one goal every 2.5 games at Brentford, Don splashed £35,000 out of the 2.5 million allegedly received for Bulldog on MacDonald. A particular skill of MacDonald, whilst at Stadium MK, was spooning the ball over the bar from close range and with an open goal on more than one occasion. My dad says he still has night terrors about his miss at the Rico. The fact he scored 11 times took me by surprise, but not as much as the fact that he played 52 times for the Dons, despite clearly not being suited to the Crobbo ball. Thank you so much for watching my Worst Dons 11. Let me know if I've missed anyone in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and why not go look at my Best Dons 11 video. And come on, you Dons!